Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me all right.
I can hear you.
Awesome. Thanks, Ethan. Appreciate it. I've been having some microphone issues with WebEx specifically, not with Zoom. So anyways, that's good to hear. Thank you. So not a ton to discuss this week, but let me go through my my little admin spiel here, and then we'll deal with any questions that anyone has. We are going to be starting week 9 on Monday. That means chapter 9 quiz. We are through, hopefully, in most cases anyways, we are through submission of the term paper. So the term paper will be accepted up to 7 days late, no later than that. It will be 10% penalty per day. You know, if you haven't talked to me at this point or discussed with me, you know, whatever the delay is, doing so afterwards is going to be less successful than it would have been up front. So, which quite honestly isn't particularly successful in itself, because this is something that was assigned 2 months ago, and I've repeatedly asked people to be on top of it. But we are marking them. We're working our way through them. I don't really have an ETA on that. Another week or so is probably about right. There's a lot of them. I have term papers in another class that some of you are in as well, that I'm working on as well. So we will get through them. We'll release all the marks all at once. I would ask that you review your marks and get back to me in a timely manner. That's sort of a good process for you guys. Leaving it, you know, a couple weeks or until after the exam or whatever to get back is a whole lot harder to have someone spend the time when they've already moved on to another course or whatever. So please do look at the marks. When I release the marks, I will release an announcement, and we will let you know then, obviously, that the marks are available. Review the comments. We'll be putting lots of comments in there to try and help you out with future writing, and look at the rubric itself and see where the marks were deducted, if marks were deducted. So I've seen some good papers so far. I've seen some horrible papers so far. That's kind of par for the course. There's people that clearly tried to write it in the last hour before submission, and as promised, that won't get good marks. So you'd have to be an incredible writer to write it in the last day, much less the last couple hours before it was due. We are only 2 more weeks, week 9, week 10, and then we're looking at exams. As far as the exam location, you should have got an email. I believe you have gotten an email at this point, talking about what location you're registered for. If you have problems with that location, so there's a couple reasons that you could. If you failed to respond, if you want to be online, or you didn't want to be in Peterborough, because that's the default location if you didn't respond to the previous email, which came out on March the 3rd and was response was due by March 18th. Do not waste your time sending me email. I will respond to you, but all I'll tell you to do is to reach out to online@trentu.ca. They are the people that are in control of scheduling locations. They may or may not be responsive. They may or may not be sympathetic to making a change, because everyone was given over 2 weeks to designate where they want to write. I will do nothing. I will advocate in no way for anyone. It's my expectation, as I've said previously, in a couple office hours, that when you got that email, that you responded to that email. So, but you know, inevitably, I will continue to get email. Inevitably, on the day of the exam, I'll get an email or two saying, "Sir, I thought I was writing online, but I can't get into the online exam." Well, I've said it before, I can lead a horse to water. I cannot make that horse drink. So I do everything I can to let people know what they need to do and how they need to do it in order to be successful. But I'm not in the business of babysitting. I'm not in the business of holding people's hands and trying to lead 250 students per course to the path of success. So, and again, I fully recognize that the people that are here attending and the people that are watching are not my audience that I need to say that to. I have no way of reaching those people. So I will say it in the hopes that at some point someone will watch this and go and have an aha moment, whether it's too late for this course or not. Maybe in their future, in their second, third, fourth years at Trent, maybe they'll become better students. So that's the reason I say these things, because I'll likely cross paths with them again, and I'm only doing myself a favor to try and make them better students. We will talk next office hours in 1 week from now. We will talk about the final exam, specifics about the final exam. That will be the last office hours in a week from now. So please do bring your questions if you're going to attend in person, or send me questions by email if you can't, and I will address everything I can think of about the final exam. Are there any questions about just about anything? I'm happy to talk about the final exam. I can't offer you specifics about how many of this and how many of that questions there are because I haven't finished it yet. So I will do that next week, I promise. Are there any questions? Will we have our paper grades before the exam? Yeah, I can say that pretty confidently. I think the exam is somewhere about a month away at this point, right? 24th, 25th, 26th, I think, somewhere in that range. So yeah, you'll certainly have your 24th. Thank you. You will certainly have you'll definitely have your marks before then. Hopefully in a week. Worst case scenario, I would say in 2 weeks, but we will certainly try to be done by then. So yeah, and I'm happy to, if you have questions, once you've reviewed the feedback, once you've reviewed the rubric, I'm happy to talk to you or email with you about any questions you have about that submission. So I guess I should say too, I'm already knee deep in academic integrity violations, meaning plagiarism. I hate them. I said this probably in the very first office hours. I hate wasting the time. I will not walk away from people that have just copied a bunch of stuff down and submitted it as their own work. I will go after them to the full extent that the school will support. At the very least, that is always a 0 on the paper. So I have reached out to several students already about that. I will be having private communications with them. It's taken very, very seriously by me and by the school. And I think I've said, if I was to quote myself, don't do that. So don't plagiarize. Don't make me go through this. This will take hours and hours and hours of my life. And it's just frustrating. It's so avoidable. So anyways, that's my comment on plagiarism. I have a question from Akinwunmi.
Hey, yeah, sorry. I just wanted to ask, like, for the exam, are we going to get like practice questions or like key terms to review for the exam?
Yeah, typically I do, absolutely. I do provide some practice multiple choice questions for you to go through. Now, I always recommend that people complete their studying before doing that, and use it as a gauge to see where they are in their studying. If they're not having any problems with those multiple choice without looking, I mean, this is going to be different than the midterm because this is going to be you're going to be in person or proctored, and you're not going to have an open textbook or an open connection to the internet, right? So, well, no, you're not going to be able to Google through the internet. You obviously could have an open connection if you're doing it through Examinity, but yeah, that's definitely something I'll provide. It won't be big. It won't be something you can do a whole bunch of times. Probably be a single run through. Honestly, I'm going to do that for this iteration of this course. I'm teaching it again in the summertime. I'm not sure I'm going to do that moving forward. I have such a low participation rate in using the practice exam. So it's, what I like about it is the keener students that are more interested in doing well are the ones that are being rewarded by doing that. So that's why I do it. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all if someone that hasn't done any quizzes, that hasn't, got a crappy mark in the midterm and a crappy mark on the term paper because they put no effort in, doesn't do the practice exam. I don't care, again, the horse to water thing, right? So yeah, but I've talked a lot in answer to a very simple question, but the short answer is yes, I will make a practice multiple choice available to you to try some of the questions. Now you'll recognize some of the questions because you've seen some of them in the quizzes along the way. So, okay. Does anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns? All right, guys, if you don't, feel free to get on with your Saturdays. Please enjoy a little bit of a rainy day, it looks like out there. Yeah, again, please note, and if you're talking to your peers or corresponding with your peers, let them know that next week will be the week that we talk about the final exam. That's usually a popular office hours. Everyone wants to hear everything that there is about the final exam and ask questions and get clarifications and such. But we will deal with that in 7 days. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Have a great weekend. Thank you.